welcome back to our channel. Thank you all so much for the love that you've given us. Your ongoing support has helped us make psychology and mental health more accessible to everyone, so thank you. As a quick note, we wanted to say that this video is for educational purposes only, and we're not suggesting that you need to end your relationship if you're familiar with any of these reasons. What's important is to sit down with your partner and talk about any issues first. We also encourage you to speak with somebody you trust who can provide support. With that said, let's begin. Being in love can feel like one of the most amazing feelings in the world. Even though you and your partner are very much in love with each other, it doesn't necessarily mean that they'll stick around. Sometimes you can be in a relationship with someone who loves you, and that person can still wind up leaving you. That feeling of abandonment can really hurt, and it does because you know that you had love within your grasp, and you still let it slip away. It can make you question your entire relationship. Why would they so willingly walk away from love? To help you get some closure, here are 6 common reasons why people choose to leave the ones that they love. Number 1, they don't feel respected. Do you respect each other in your relationship? At the foundation of any kind of relationship is respect. Your partner may love you, but they will never allow themselves to stay in a relationship that didn't have mutual respect. A person's dignity is always going to come first, and it's best to stay mindful of that notion. Number 2, they don't feel emotionally supported. Are you able to be vulnerable and open around each other? The bulk of what makes up a good relationship is the emotional support between 2 individuals who love one another. Neither one of you wants to feel slighted or cheated. Rough patches are common, and having to be vulnerable can be difficult. Vulnerability opens up the possibility of pain, and if your partner doesn't feel that they're being supported emotionally, it's less likely that they will allow themselves to be vulnerable with you. Number 3, your relationship has experienced a loss of physical intimacy. Have you ever been in a situation where you still love and care for your partner, but you're not attracted to them anymore? Physical affection is much more than sex and is part of the glue that holds a relationship together. Research has found that non-sexual physical intimacy is key to long-term happiness in a relationship, and that held close, skin-to-skin contact releases the same bonding chemicals in your brain as sex would. Research has found that humans have an innate ability to interpret emotional messages through touch alone. In a 2009 study conducted by Hertenstein, blindfolded people were able to correctly interpret 8 distinct emotions, such as anger, fear, disgust, love, gratitude, sympathy, happiness, and sadness, solely through the touch of a stranger, with 78% accuracy. Loss of physical intimacy is often the first step towards a loss of emotional intimacy. It's such a critical part of a relationship that when it's gone, you or your partner may be tempted to look for it somewhere else. Number 4, they don't feel adequate. Believe it or not, a person is always at risk of leaving the relationship whenever they don't feel like they're enough for somebody. In a relationship, your partner wants to feel validated by you and desires to be appreciated. Over time, if they don't get the appreciation they deserve, they may feel inadequate and choose to leave the relationship. Number 5, they don't feel listened to. One tip you always get is that communication is very important in a relationship. However, we might take that to mean that we need to be doing a lot of talking in the relationship. But it's more than just talking. It's also about listening. Do you truly listen to what your partner has to say? Or do you listen just for the sake of responding? Healthy communication consists of both listening and speaking. If your partner doesn't feel properly listened to, and like they don't have much of a voice, they may feel that they can't express themselves in the way that they'd like to. And number 6, they no longer feel an emotional connection. Studies have shown that the love and passion that comes with the initial boost of marriage have a tendency to wear off after about 2 years. This is why the best relationships are the ones that have genuine friendship at their core. Emotional connection is often what sustains a long-lasting relationship. And if that is no longer there, this may be another reason why people choose to leave the person they love. Did this video help you find closure? Or if you've left someone you loved, did you relate to any of these reasons? Let us know in the comments below. It can be difficult and overwhelming, especially when making the decision to leave a relationship that you're invested in. We hope this video was able to provide some insight for you. Please like and share this video if it helped you and you think it could help someone else too. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell icon. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Welcome back to another video. Before we start, we'd like to give you a huge thanks for all of the love and support that you've given us. It makes psychology more accessible to everyone, and you help us do that. Now, let's continue. Have you ever wondered why we flirt? Well, according to the Social Issues Research Center, anthropological research shows that flirting is a universal and essential part of human interaction. But if it is instinctive to all of us on some level, then why do we sometimes get it wrong? If you clicked on this video looking for a guide to help you flirt better, you're not alone. Because like many other social norms, much of the do's and don'ts of flirting are dictated by unwritten laws of etiquette that we generally obey without even realizing it, says the Social Issues Research Center. With that said, here are 6 common psychology-backed flirting mistakes that may be keeping you single, keeping it cool, according to psychology professor Dr. Aaron Benziv. Although playing hard to get is a common flirting tactic a lot of people swear by, it can actually hurt more than help your romantic chances. By pretending we're not interested in someone, it creates insecurity and uncertainty early on in the relationship, which can lead to more deception and emotional manipulation. Playing such superficial games may also attract the wrong kind of person, says Dr. Benziv. Waiting too long. Another common flirting mistake, especially among women, is never making the first move. You may think that all the subtle signs you're giving, like making prolonged eye contact, smiling and casually touching them, or liking their posts online, is enough for them to take the hint, but it also leaves a lot of room for miscommunication. If you wanna date someone, says dating expert and self-help author John Berger, it's better to make the first move instead of just waiting around for them, because it's a way of taking control of your relationships and being more intentional about the partners you choose. Stay light. According to Dr. James Wadley, psychologist and chair of the Counseling and Human Services Department at Lincoln University, bringing your pent-up frustrations with you on a date or while flirting with someone is a big no-no. Why? Because although it might seem like a natural and easy conversation starter, showing too much of a disagreeable attitude early on in a potential relationship is a turnoff for a lot of people. So when you're flirting, Dr. Wadley suggests, it's best to keep things lighthearted and positive for now. Being negative. Similar to our earlier point, don't make the mistake of thinking it's okay to talk too much about why you're single, or worse, how much you hate it. Seeing singlehood as a problem, says psychologist Dr. Karen Anderson, can paint us in a bad light, both to ourselves and others. We may start to see and present ourselves as being too picky or too needy, and that there's something undesirable about us as a partner, and that we can't see our own self-worth without one. Over-romanticizing. According to relationship and well-being psychologist Dr. Amy M. Gordon, we need to be careful of having high expectations of potential partners, because while having high expectations can be good, like when it increases commitment and helps us behave more positively towards one another, it can easily turn bad if we over-romanticize our perfect type. Having unrealistically high standards can make us miss out on someone great because it only sets them up for failure. Over-romanticizing crushes can quickly lead to relationship dissatisfaction the moment they inevitably make a mistake or fail to live up to the perfect version we have of them in our heads. Hiding your heart. Last but not least, hiding how you really feel is perhaps the biggest flirting mistake that's keeping you single. Why? Because although it might seem terrifying to confess your true feelings to someone, never letting them in or showing them your true feelings will only discourage them from pursuing you and getting to know the real you. According to a Healthline article reviewed by therapist Dr. Jennifer Littner, by hiding your emotions, you prevent clear communication with the people in your life. And that's not something you wanna make a habit of when starting a relationship with someone. So, can you relate to any of the things we've mentioned here? Did this list make you realize some of the flirting mistakes that are keeping you single? Even if the answer is yes, don't worry. Flirting doesn't come easily to everyone, and it's not a skill that's ever explicitly taught to us. So it's understandable to make mistakes sometimes. What matters most is that you become aware of your missteps and all the other ways you may be unconsciously holding yourself back from finding love. What are some other common flirting mistakes we've missed? Let us know in the comments down below. Till next time, Ching, and remember, you matter.